Welcome to Chemical Safety at Work, your trusted source for simplifying the complexities of workplace chemical safety. I'm Mel.
And I'm Pat. Today we're exploring an essential aspect of workplace safety, and that's emergency decontamination. We'll guide you through some of the key considerations, legal requirements and best practices to ensure your site is prepared if an incident does occur.
So what is emergency decontamination? Simply put, it's the process of quickly removing or neutralising hazardous substances that come into contact with a person or surface to minimise injury and damage.
Yeah, that's right. So emergency decontamination can mean anything from rinsing chemical splashes from the skin to flushing eyes exposed to hazardous materials. The goal is always to act fast to prevent further harm.
Let's talk about the equipment. Emergency decontamination includes safety showers, eyewash stations, combination units, and handheld drench hoses, plus more.
Each piece of equipment has a specific use. For example, emergency showers are meant for full body exposure, while eyewash stations are essential for eye contamination. Handheld hoses can provide targeted decontamination for smaller areas.
So let's look at the legal side now. Under work health and safety regulations and several standards such as AS 4775, Australian workplaces must have emergency showers and eyewash stations if they handle corrosive or hazardous chemicals, flammable or combustible liquids, class 4 dangerous goods, oxidising agents and toxic substances.
The regulations specify that this equipment must be installed and maintained in good working order, and failure to comply can result in significant penalties and put worker safety at risk.
When it comes to placement, AS 4775 states that emergency equipment should be no more than 10 seconds away from potential hazards. The first 10 to 15 seconds after the incident is of critical importance.
But overall visibility of a safety shower or eyewash station can also impact the 10-second rule. So if staff can't quickly identify the location of the equipment after being exposed to hazardous chemicals, then they may be at risk of further damage to their health.
Yeah.
And don't forget, there should be a clear, unobstructed path. You wouldn't want someone struggling to reach a shower during an emergency because of a blocked corridor or a locked door.
Yeah, absolutely. The class of the chemical will also determine where the equipment should be placed. For example, the standard AS 3780 requires showers and eyewash units to be within 7 to 10 metres from corrosive substances, but no closer than 2 metres due to the risk of equipment corroding. How water will react with the chemicals and how the chemicals could corrode or contaminate the equipment also needs to be considered. Now, what does the standard say about the equipment itself? First, it can be plumbed or self-contained. But to be 100% compliant with Australian standards, it must be capable of delivering water at a sufficient flow rate, and it needs to stay operational for at least 15 minutes. However, exposure to many alkalis will require 60 minutes of continuous flushing. The amount of time a contaminated area should be flushed will be based on the recommendations of a medical practitioner and the chemical manufacturer.
The water temperature is another critical factor. Tepid water between 15 degrees and 37 degrees is recommended by the Australian standards, and that prevents further harm like thermal shock or additional skin irritation. Your risk assessment should consider how you can regulate the temperature of the flushing fluids. On remote and outdoor work sites, water could overheat or become extremely cold. The materials used to construct the units, including O-rings and other componentry, must be compatible with any chemicals or service conditions likely to be encountered.
Equipment maintenance is non-negotiable. Regular testing should be done weekly to ensure equipment is functional, with annual comprehensive inspections mandated by AS 4775.
Keeping thorough records of these tests is essential for compliance and auditing purposes. If an emergency occurs, showing proof of maintenance can make a big difference during investigations.
Absolutely. Equipment is only as effective as the people using it. So that's why training is crucial. Workers must be educated on how to properly use safety showers, eyewash stations and PPE.
Training should include hands-on practice and simulations to prepare staff for real-life situations. Routine drills can make the response automatic and fast, which is key during an emergency. It's also important that those tasked with inspecting the equipment are properly trained on what to look out for. We have a blog online called Training Workers to Use Emergency Decontamination Equipment, and an ebook titled How to Select and Use Compliant Emergency Showers and Eyewash Equipment, which I will link in the show notes.
Yeah, that's a good one. So some industries need specialised decontamination solutions. For example, mobile units might be essential for construction or mining sites due to their remote locations.
Labs handling corrosive or toxic chemicals may require additional decontamination protocols and secondary equipment to handle specific chemical hazards. Always consult AS 2243 Part 10, Safety in Laboratories, for guidance.
So I have some tips here for our subscribers as to what staff shouldn't do with emergency decontamination equipment. So number 1, don't misuse the stations for non-emergency purposes like hand washing. Don't use them to dispose of waste materials. Don't block access with equipment or furniture. Don't neglect regular maintenance. And the last one I have is don't tamper with or disable the equipment.
Yeah, those are really great reminders, Mel. Proper usage and respect for the equipment ensures it's ready when needed.
And good housekeeping around decontamination stations is vital. So clean, clutter-free areas mean staff can quickly access the equipment in emergencies.
Regular cleaning and checks prevent tripping hazards and make sure the stations remain visible and functional at all times.
All right, so let's wrap up with the final checklist for our listeners. Number 1, ensure your emergency decontamination equipment is within 10 seconds of hazards. Number 2, confirm regular testing and maintenance are being conducted. Number 3, train workers on the correct use of equipment. Number 4, maintain clear paths to the stations. And number 5, implement industry-specific protocols if necessary.
Yeah, awesome. Compliance isn't just about ticking boxes, it's about ensuring safety for everyone in the workplace.
So thank you for joining us on this episode of Chemical Safety at Work. What we've discussed today is just a summary of some of the key things to know. As always, there's plenty more information and requirements to consider. You can head to the Storemaster Knowledge Centre online to discover a selection of blogs and ebooks, providing much more detail on this topic. Stay informed, stay prepared, and remember, safety is everyone's responsibility.
Couldn't agree more. And don't forget there are acts, regulations, standards and codes of practice providing all the legal requirements and best practice. Many of these resources will be referenced in our blogs. So until next time, take care and keep your workplace safe.